Okay, this is LWDQ, and I am starting a series, my first series, that I am going to be making about a level 1 necromancer playing, leveling up solo through the game. I've named my character Gemsnoot, which is a reference to sort of D&D gnomes. For example, say dwarves, they in D&D lore, they are very focused on their beards. It's a point of pride. The bigger the beard, the more elaborate their beard, the better it is, right? The more, just you're held in. They value that. And with gnomes, there's a similar thing about noses in D&D lore. Basically, the larger the nose, the better. So, snoot refers to nose. And gnomes have an affinity for gems in D&D lore, and I'm pretty sure EverQuest lore too. So that's where gem comes from. So, Gemsnoot. A little corny, a little weird, but whatever. That's his name. Don't wear it out. He is level 2 because I kind of went through some stuff. This is like a second take of the recording because I rambled too much, trying to stay more focused. And my pledge to you is to try to keep these episodes to about a half hour each. I am trying to do my best to follow in the footsteps of the great Gerald C717, a YouTuber that covered EverQuest Live that I thought did a pretty good job. And he was just himself, and that's what I'm trying to be. I'm just trying to be myself. And this is a fun game that you can choose to play really any way you want, and that's how I choose to do it. So my leveling process is I skip the tutorial. I don't want to mess up the tutorial. I typically give my character bags, and I only loot Defiant gear and stuff that stacks, maybe for a little plat. I'm not going to give this guy any money, but as you can see, I did give him a horse that I had rotting my bank somewhere. Especially for a caster, a horse combined with mercs can really be very helpful. And as a necro, my pets are going to be nothing really. And I'm going to go through the levels so fast, it's not even really worth it to even use a pet for a while. So I'm using a tank merc, which, as a lot of people are aware, are excessively overpowered, at least through level 50. So while I'll get all my spells and whatnot. But I will not bother getting anything, any pet. I'm not going to use a pet really, probably. Maybe even all the way to level 50. That's no trade. Anyway, so this is what we're doing here. As you see, the merc tank's hit points jet up once in a while. I'm not healing the merc tank at all. It's just that its regen is so fast for these low-level mobs. It literally doesn't bother with it. I mean, it heals, heals up. want to get more bone chips here. Ooh, they join. Usually newbie mobs do not get social. It's very interesting. So I'm in the newbie area for the gnomes, and I'm just killing stuff. And as you can tell, the XP is flowing pretty good. I will admit this is during a XP bonus, as you can tell. Week, period, whatever. It's around. It's not Halloween yet. This is October of 2021, so. Anyway. These beginning levels don't have a huge amount of spells, and frankly you can skip all the Dungeons of Norath spells for the most part. This is a Necro. All the trap stuff and curse curing stuff like that, you can skip it. You don't have to, you know, the beginning levels, if you're not gonna give your character any money, money is gonna be a tight thing anyway. Yeah, we need that. Let's get more bone chips if we can. Can't have too many bone chips for a while. You don't want to get stuck without bone chips. That's for certain. There we go. Whoa! Wow, there's 3 of them right on top of each other. Come on. Dude, get on it, my man. There we go. Make myself main assist. Ooh, these rusty two-handed swords for newbie pets are pretty awesome. I remember those. Remember being a pet class back in Classic and giving your pet a rusty two-handed sword or a cracked staff and just watching them just absolutely go to town. And it was actually pretty crazy. So this is pretty much it. I'm keeping track of my time, which I normally don't do, to try to stay within that pledge of this coyote skull. Does not say it's a quest thing. So I don't know. I level yet? I think I did. Now eventually I'm going to be moving on to a cleric merc, and that's pretty much going to be the only type of merc. I'll get the pelts. Why not? I don't know who that is. Ooh, look at all these spiders. Now what happens is when you loot stuff, spider legs, oh, they stack. I gotta get some kind of money flow going here. Eventually I will need to spend money on spells. And I already got the horse and a bunch of bags, so I actually feel slightly guilty about doing that. Like, it's kind of cheating a little. So I'm going to refrain from going to try to force myself to not cheat and just make this guy's plat on his own for his spells. Let's go ahead and try to bone. Got a bunch of bone chips. I'm going to keep those in my back pocket here. Do that. chain and plate. I can't wear either of those. Good to sell. Eventually I'm going to get an AA. That's another thing. I am going to do auto grant also, to be perfectly honest. So it's not really, it's just I don't know. I guess that's, of course the whole point of it isn't for it to be completely classic, you know. I spent a decent amount of time in this zone. Steam font, mountains. Always a good place to level up. These bone chips. So I'm just using the spear tap. I used the, oops, what did I use? I used the copy layout to copy, right? The layout from my Necro main, so that there's consistency. When it happens to do that, for whatever reason, oops, it these two, this row and this row, are always the small size. These two are like they are for me. They're changed, but I always have to reset these two rows whenever I do this. So in these old world zones, this right here, you're basically getting power leveled by your merc, and the power of the tank merc grows really quickly compared to the strength of the mobs as you grow, as you get up higher. Let's get more of these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this until I hit level, oh, I don't know. Let's get this check. Usually these are pretty tough, from remembering from back in the day, but maybe they're not that tough. See, look at this. And we got another level. Ooh, look at that. Boom. Mo money, mo money. Coarse silk. I believe that's a trade skill item. It does stack, but I think it's for, I don't want infected rats. They disease you and stuff, and I don't have my cleric mark up. So yeah, I'm level 4 here. Oh, sure. Light source. I already got the newbie light source. And as I get crude armor on and stuff, it's gonna, you know, I'm not gonna need that. Come on, Bubba. What's your name? Saltaben? Satlaben. I inverted the L and the T. Satlaben, huh? I'm just gonna call you Salt. Because he's salty. Belt pouch. It's a container. I'm gonna get that just because it's in it ought to sell for something decent. I wonder if these cobalts are a little bit more likely to drop Defiant gear. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just tapping the crap out of them. La da 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 da. Let's put the minor shielding on here. May as well put a buff on myself. Might help with some spell schools training. I don't do trade skills and I don't do quests. Like, wow, man. So, what do you do? Why do you even play the game? You know, I don't know. I remember stuff. I don't have a lot of really good memories from this zone completely. I actually leveled mostly up in the Butcher Block, Greater Fey. It's only since I played INT casters in the modern game, only because they you don't have to worry about spell research for your spells anymore. You just buy them like everybody else, which is the biggest reason what was kind of held me back from playing one back in the old days. Spell research for the spells you need. I did not want to put in the extra time to be able to do that. Too many horror stories about people. Maybe I should have did that fur stuff. Copyright. No, I don't want that. I'm going to loot this once because it's going to automatically put it on my character. Voila. And I do believe that this is going to be my last mob here for this first inaugural lesson. Listen to me. I'll get back to the druid ring here. One of the rare druid rings that me as a necro you don't have to feel in fear of, because there's nobody that's going to kill you over here. Alright. Usually you have to watch your P's and Q's around the druid ring as a necro. Wow, where the hell did I go? How the heck did that happen, man? I was right up on the druid ring. Somehow I ended up being warped way back there. That was weird, man. What the heck happened there? Anyway, so here we are. And the future plans for Gemsnoot is me kind of getting my feet wet, you know, doing a series, learning kind of how to do it so it's semi-entertaining. I don't have a lot of stories about this zone, but I figure as I go along with my leveling process, gonna go, you know, like from here I'm gonna end up going to Greater Fey, get to kind of roam around a little bit. Right now I kind of want to stack a few levels so I can kind of fill the spell bar up a little bit and just kind of get in the groove of things. When the levels start to come a little slower, then I'll just kind of start chilling a little bit more instead of just going crazy like I just was there, and kind of take my time a little bit and just kind of reminisce a little bit as I kind of move along about various groups I remember getting in Greater Fey, and then Crushbone and Unrest and stuff like that. To this day, once in a great while, when I happen to be doing something like this with, say, an alt character, just, you know, I run into people in these old zones that are just returning players from way back, and they don't even care about leveling somebody. They're just kind of getting on a character as a silver account and just running around and just kind of, you know, remembering stuff or just kind of chilling. I've caught people in Greater Fey, Crushbone, just sort of chilling. I say hi, and then they say, oh yeah, it's been, you know, 15 years since I've even logged into this game. I was curious I'm just kind of, you know, remembering things, stuff like that, you know. So us old fogies, we get nostalgic. It's part of what we do. Anyway, so we're at the 30-minute mark, and I'm gonna. Anyway, so that's kind of the general overall plan. This is ODQ playing Gemsnoot. I haven't figured out a title for this series, but I'll try to think of something fairly clever. And then that's that. So have a good one, and see you in Norath.